So, okay, just some background. I'm using so I'm using IntelliJ since version 6. Now it's 14. So basically, I think it's the best idea for Java development, and I really like it. But now it's not enough to just programming in Java. You should be a full stack developer to get some pizza from OF. Yeah, and I'm using IntelliJ to develop Angular application as well, and I will show you how I'm doing this. So basically, as an example, I will use my current hobby project, which is basically a simple file manager. So what you can do, you can navigate through folders, and you can create new folders. You can upload files to folders. And let's develop just a simple component which will show number of selected files. Like when we're selecting files, we will see some label, how many files we selected. So it's pretty much standard layout of Angular application. So I have components folder, and let's create a new one. Let's call it selection counter. So let's begin from the test. It should be controller test.js. And yeah, edit. So it's where the first feature of IntelliJ come up. It's live template. So live template is basically just a code snippet, and we can define this code snippet. So for test, for example, I use this one, which I created. So we can use also the variables in this template, and also we can use some simple functions, for example, to do uppercase for our variables. So let's do it. Also, as you can see, IntelliJ just do autocompleting for our live template and the full description of it. So it's created our test. So now we need just group name. Sorry. And as we can see here, we have uppercase name of our controller. So just click enter. So let's run it. To run the test, I'm using the also terminal, which is included in IntelliJ. So just type npm test, and it will run our tests. And we see that one test failed because we don't have this controller. So let's create it. So I'm also using live template to create a controller. So let's define our application name and name of controller. And save the file. And now we see that test is success, which is beautiful. We did this. So now let's create a HTML template. And that's why I so love the IntelliJ, it's templates. So the first feature is we have autocomplete for all our ng attributes. So, and also we have autocomplete for our controllers and for Angular expressions. So we can just do this. see that it's syntax highlighted for Angular expressions. Now let's define some text and define attribute. So and put a variable that we want to show. And that's the second one why I'm so learning IntelliJ. As you can see, it's very light gray underline under the select files count variable. So if you just put mouse on it, we will see that it's unresolved variable of type select files count, but it's not like a strong error, and because JavaScript is so fancy and your variables can come from everywhere. So yeah, it's not. So if you put some, for example, like this, and the IntelliJ does show red underline and put error on the right side, so it's just syntax error. But in this case, it's just showing that it could be undefined. So let's just create it. So it should be here. So now what we can see is that it's violet, so IntelliJ just recognizes it and we can jump to it. Actually, yeah, you can also jump across all your objects from the template, which is, I reckon it's just fantastic. I've never seen in any other IDEs so good support. Yep, so now we need to add it to our index HTML. Also, of course, we have autocomplete for all our folders and files. Yep. And now just do engine include. And copy paste it again. Yeah, you selected 0 files. So basically it's not working, because also we need to add listener for our event of selection changes. Let's add it. Let me cheat a little bit and copy paste it from the component. So also, yeah, you can autocomplete for all. Let's try to load it. There we go. It's working. So last feature that we want to show you is I think it's a killer feature. Actually, you can debug your JavaScript applications in IntelliJ. So to do this, you need to install the plugin for Chrome. And after that, you can create a new run configuration, which is JavaScript debug. Here, I already created it. And after that, we can just run it. There we go. So now we can put our breakpoint and try to select file. And now we can see all our variables, and we can add watches. We can add some expressions which will be evaluated in this small console. And also, I really like how in IntelliJ you can define your conditional breakpoint. So yeah, so you can debug your application right straight away from the JavaScript application from IntelliJ. So that's pretty much it. Also, I need to show you how much money you should pay to use all of this. Yeah? It's not free. Yeah. So basically, but it's really cheap to my mind. So first time you need to pay $200 for the new license. After that, you can upgrade to the new version for 1 year. After that, $99, and you can upgrade it one more time. But for startups, you can great discount, students, education, open source, free. Also, I got my version on JVM meetup for the best question. So you're welcome there. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, I'm keen to answer. Yes.
I use IntelliJ a lot, so this is a loaded question. But do you find its code completion is kind of psychic?
Sorry?
Kind of psychic. Like whenever you're typing in the auto completion and it's giving you a list of results, it knows what you want before you've actually.
Yeah. I think that IntelliJ knows what I'm thinking. So yeah, it's definitely over Wi-Fi probably. I didn't try to turn it off. Yeah, but probably from it. Okay. Any? Yep.
How do you compare with your WebStorm?
I've never used WebStorm because I'm a Java developer, but I know that it's IntelliJ. Yeah, it's a one platform. Originally, it was IntelliJ idea. It was only like a Java ID, but after that they just do a lot of forks on this engine, like WebStorm, and they just released, for example, C-Line, which is IDE for C++. Yeah, so but I never used it.
It's pretty much identical.
Then it's so good. It's
Just WebStorm's aimed at JavaScript rather than Java. That's pretty much it. It's just a different sort of flavor. Features.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Is the IDEA one? Has it got a server built into it?
Sorry.
Does it have a web server built into it when you debug in the IDEA one?
Yeah.
With the WebStorm one does. I don't know if that's a difference.
To my knowledge, WebStorm and Android Studio, which is also a fork of IntelliJ, they're just preloaded with the plugins. Essentially, is the only difference.
And it's only faces. Available faces and plugins. That's pretty much it.
It's better than all the other crappy ones I have missed.
Just a comment, because I use it, it's awesome, but because of all those features, it consumes a lot of power. Your laptop battery would just go down. But if you go file, there's a power save mode, which turns off a lot of the awesome things in the IDE, but it keeps your battery life for like an extra hour. So that's something like if you're on the train on something, you need some more battery life.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Good hint.
Okay.
So one more comment. There is also a free version of the IntelliJ. However, it doesn't support AngularJS.
JavaScript and AngularJS and all that HTML. Yeah.
So
It's only for Java and Android probably. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Well, thanks very much, Dimitri. Looking around for John. There you are. So Dimitri was saying before this presentation that this is his first presentation in English as well.
Yeah.
So we're really pleased that he came out tonight and made the effort to do this, and I think it went really well. Well done, mate.